And how much weaponry did you have on you that day?
I believe it was a handgun and a AR pistol.
And Exhibit 4, is that a fair and accurate representation of the weaponry you had on you that day?
Yes.
All right. Let me show you Exhibit 5. Is that the bridge that you were arrested on?
I can't. It looks to be the down slope of the south side, but I can't verify if that's exactly where I was arrested.
Do you agree with me that the bridge where your arrest occurred is not a place where you could fish?
Yes, I saw the sign.
Okay, there's no fishing sign on the bridge?
Yes.
Okay. And was there a wall and a rocks down the end of the bridge?
At the end of the bridge?
Yeah.
Like, can you point to where?
Yeah, if you kept going.
If I kept going,
Were you walking north or south at the
I
time?
was going south.
South. If you kept walking south, do you know if there was rocks that extended out into the water?
I don't know. I never made it to that point.
Okay.
I was stopped on the bridge.
Let me show you Exhibit 6. You ever get to that area where the
No.
rocks come out over the water?
No.
All right. You agree, though, that Exhibit 6 is in Bell Harbor?
Oh yeah, it says Bell Harbor.
Yeah, it says no fishing from
rocks.
the rocks.
Correct.
All right. And then Exhibit 7, photograph taken at or about the time of your arrest. Bell
Never.
Harbor sign, no fishing from the wall or the rocks. Do you ever see that?
I never made it to that point that day.
Is there a jetty in Bell Harbor?
Yes, there is.
How many jetties are there?
Well, it's just the one jetty as you walk out to the rocks.
Okay. And is it the rocks that we see in Exhibit 6 or different rocks?
The only rocks I see is, it seems from this is the north side, and that's where I went to go try to fish, but then this is the south side where, and once again, I don't really know specifically where this, I believe, is like as you walk up and there's a big giant wall. This seems to be facing, I'm not really sure. Once again, I don't know the direction this is being taken.
Okay. But you agree that there's only one jetty in Bell Harbor, right?
On the Bell Harbor side, and then there's there's the north side and the south side. That's how I always refer to them, as the north side and the south side.
All right. Do you know if at the time of your arrest, if fishing was permitted on the jetty in Bell Harbor?
Fishing was permitted by the governor's order.
Okay. Did you encounter the sign that's on Exhibit 8?
The day I was released.
Okay. And what did that sign say about fishing on the jetty?
It was not allowed. This is the day after I was arrested. Then I came in and saw this sign.
Okay. Well, if law enforcement officers or citizens of Bell Harbor were to testify that the sign that's on Exhibit 8 was there on the date of your arrest, you would have no basis to dispute that, would you?
Oh, no, I saw it the next day.
Yeah.
I was
okay.
there. I got video of that too.
Right. In other words, you're not saying that they just went and threw that out because you got arrested. You understand that was there the whole time, right?
No, that sign's never been there the whole time. It only went there when COVID happened.
Right. But on the day of your arrest, it was
The day
there.
of my arrest, it was there.
Yeah.
But the governor's order made that sign null and void.
All right. According to this sign in Bell Harbor, it's really hard for me to read this.
It says no fishing.
No fishing on the jetty, right? And do you have an understanding as to why Bell Harbor was prohibiting fishing on the jetty on the day of your arrest?
COVID.
Does that mean there was no fishing allowed anywhere in Bell Harbor?
There was no, at one point, there was no fishing. Any kind of activities were completely shut down from Palm Beach County, Broward County, Miami-Dade County, and Monroe. On, I believe it was March something 2020, the governor's order lifted, saying fishing was an essential activity. And I want to say it was March of 2020.
Do you know if your arrest was in 2021, right?
Correct.
Do you know if Bell Harbor was prohibiting fishing everywhere in Bell Harbor on the day of your arrest?
If it's if it's accessible and you can fish. And I know prior to my arrest, people were fishing in Bell Harbor.
Right, what if you just went down to the beach and threw a line in the water? Do you know if that would have been prohibited?
On the beach, maybe, but not at the jetty.
There were places on the video with you and Officer Congress, I'm sure you've seen it numerous times, and I've watched it as well, where you told him you were intending to fish, right?
Yep.
And were any of those locations areas that were allowed to be fished in by Bell Harbor that day?
On that day?
Yes.
To my knowledge, yes.
Which one?
All, like, everywhere except for the places that said no fishing. And I knew there were signs, like, right off the walls, right when you walk in, there's signs clear as day as you walk in. But I knew that that area of the jetty I was going to had numerous people had been fishing there for years before I had even been there. So.
And had you not been stopped by Officer Kunkus, you were gonna go out on that jetty and cast a line with an AR-15 strapped to your body?
Until I ran across the sign that says there was no fishing. And that would be the same thing, principles of trespassing. If you see a sign that says no trespassing and you go beyond it, then you're breaking the law.
Right.
If I would have seen a sign that said no fishing, I would turn around, mind you, at the inlet, not so much, if I'm not fishing off of seawall, it would have been one thing, but if I would have gone into the park and seen that one sign that you showed me, I would have turned around and walked right back to where I could have gone fishing.
And do you have any understanding as to where you could have gone fishing that day in light of the sign prohibiting fishing on the jetty?
Yep.
Where's that?
That was on the north side of the bridge, or north side of the inlet, not at the jetty itself, but if you look at the north side, underneath, not so much underneath, but there's a seawall that extends from like the bridge and it extends out, and there's a fish, I guess I would say a fishing area that's not prohibited on that side.
All right, you're referring to Executive Order 20-91
I believe so.
and 2089.
I
Those are the
believe
ones
so.
you cited in your complaint. Okay. Had you ever fished in Bell Harbor?
Many years ago when I was young. I was probably like maybe 15 or 16.
Do you have any understanding as to what the population of Bell Harbor is? Who lives in Bell Harbor?
No.
Now, did you select Bell Harbor because you wanted to scare people with your AR-15?
My intention is never to scare anybody.
I mean, you know Bell Harbor is an upscale community where people go and eat in expensive, nice restaurants and expensive shops, right?
My constitutional rights don't stop at somebody else's feelings. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be afraid to express a Second Amendment right. It doesn't matter. It could be, I stood in front of Trump Towers in West Palm. So to say that me doing X, Y, or Z is going to make the whole world scared, I'm sorry. If that makes you scared, I get it.
How was the flag that we see in Exhibit 1, how was that displayed, if at all, at the time that you were encountered by Officer Compass?
It was just flying.
All right. And where was your fishing pole at the time?
I believe it was attached. I had the fishing pole and the flag both in my left hand, and I had a camera in my right.
And you agree with me that at the time you were flying the flag because you wanted to draw attention to yourself as someone expressing your constitutional rights?
Absolutely.
And if an officer encountered you, it would be reasonable to observe you as someone who was there to make a political statement, don't you think?
I'm not out there making a political statement. I'm not out there preaching for Donald Trump. I'm not out there preaching for Biden. I'm not preaching for anybody. I'm just out there expressing a constitutional right. And
you were engaged in an expression of Second Amendment rights.
correct.
And you were expressing your Second Amendment right by openly carrying an assault rifle and the Gadsden flag.
I don't have an assault rifle.
What is an AR-15?
It's a armor light.
I know AR does not stand for assault rifle. I've
Well,
looked at
you
it.
keep referring to it as an assault rifle, and it's just a semi-automatic rifle. Or actually, it's not even a rifle; it's a pistol.
So you call an AR-15 a semi-automatic pistol?
The firearm I was carrying is a pistol,
All right. So let me take,
classified by ATF and all them. It's considered a pistol, not a rifle.
okay. So you were expressing, you were engaged in an active expression of your Second Amendment rights by virtue of having a highly visible AR-15 strapped to your chest and carrying a Gadsden flag, right?
Absolutely.
And do you have any reason to believe that any Bal Harbor law enforcement officers observed you fishing or wetting your lure that day?
At the time, no, it was not possible, because if I would have been, my line would have been in the water, I've been breaking the law.
And in your mind, did it matter what type of fishing pole or fishing equipment you had on you that day to consider yourself as going fishing?
No.
If you had a fishing net in your pocket, would that have been good enough?
By law, yes.
And if you had a little pocket fisherman that can only catch little minnow-sized fish, that'd be good enough?
Those pocket fishermen, there's YouTube videos of them catching 50-pound fish on a pocket fisherman. So you can try to make that analogy, but some of the biggest fish are caught on the smallest rods.
Right. So just to get your interpretation of the breadth of the statute, as long as someone is going to fish, no matter what fishing equipment they have, as long as they do it in an area that's permitted, public land, they can open carry.
As long as they're lawfully allowed to possess said firearm, as long as they have a valid fishing license, unless it's a free fishing weekend, and they're lawfully allowed to be in that area to fish, 100%.
Did you spend any money on the attorney?
Objective forum, but yes, I did.
Well, if you're not claiming it in this case, then I don't need to know. Are you claiming? Are you claiming in this case to be reimbursed for a criminal defense attorney?
No.
Okay, then I don't care.
Okay.
So as far as damages, how do you feel that you have been damaged? You spent 24 hours in custody, right?
Correct.
And how did you spend that time?
Wide awake, making sure I wasn't going to get jumped, beat up, or anything like that.
Since your release, have you gone for any type of counseling, psychological, anything like that?
No, I have not.
Do you have any intrusive thoughts, flashbacks, or bad memories from being incarcerated?
Yes.
And tell us about those.
It's not so much about the incarceration, it's more about the arrest.
And tell us how that arrest has affected you emotionally.
Basically, every time I see a law enforcement officer, I feel like I'm going to be arrested because they didn't understand the law. And I deal with that every time.
And even in light of this arrest, have you continued to open carry while fishing throughout the state of Florida with a GoPro?
Yes.
And do you make money by doing this?
Yes.
Because you post it to your YouTube channel and people watch your videos, right?
Yeah, yes, YouTube monetizes me, yes.
How many people subscribe to your YouTube channel?
As of today, about 80,000.
Oh, wow. Do they have to pay for that?
No. They don't even have to subscribe. They just,
Hit a like button or something like that?
they just have to watch the video.
Oh,
So it
okay.
could be as simple as hitting subscribe doesn't get me any money. It just notifies you when I make a video. Hitting the like creates an algorithm, and the more likes I get, the more that video gets out there. But I technically don't make any money until they actually watch the video. So there's no, I can't force it on people, and I can't make them pay for it. I just put it out there, and they want to watch it, they watch it.
How many videos do you have on your YouTube channel?
I've hundreds. At this point, I couldn't tell you I have 2 different channels, and I think one channel has like 200 to 300 videos, and the other one's getting up there too.
Vast majority are you open carrying while fishing?
Open carry, government accountability stuff. Sometimes it's just, it's actually some of the kayak fishing. That's how my channel started. My YouTube channel name is Solo Yacker, and it started out with solo kayaking. I was a solo kayaker, and that's how I got Solo Yacker from.
As far as any out-of-pocket money, other than the $200 for the bond, or you or your wife, out-of-pocket, any money as a result of this incident with Officer Cunkers?
The parking ticket that I occurred when my car was on the other side of the bridge, and they ticketed me for that as well.
How much did that set you back?
I don't know, it was probably like $20 to $50 or so. I don't know. It wasn't substantial enough, but it's more or less. Anytime I see a law enforcement officer come at me the way he did, it just rushes back that memory. And you know, in most of my videos, I'm a really nice guy until pushed, and then I will push back.
In the Miami Beach video, you had about half a dozen officers coming at you with guns drawn, pointed at you, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they put you in handcuffs?
Yep.
And they hurt your shoulder?
Yep.
You called them a bunch of fucking clowns, right?
Yeah. And I believe I did call Kunkus and his officers a bunch of clowns too. Because once again, he didn't care about my rights. He didn't. If you actually watch the video and I'm like, hey, what's this? He's like, I don't know what that is. When I asked him a specific statute number and he says he doesn't know what 901-151 is, that's an issue, because that's what crime am I? There's suspicion. You come out like, hey, we got a suspicious call. I'm going fishing. I've just dispelled your suspicion. Your suspicion's done with once I say I'm going fishing. But it wasn't over. He wanted to take my magazine. He wanted to know who I voted for. Like there was a sticker on my gun that said, I voted. He's like, who'd you vote? What does me voting and who I voted for have to do with anything? I could have voted for Biden, and what did that change?
Wouldn't change anything.
It wouldn't have changed anything.
Right.
And that's why that's the issue, right? Or for me, that's the underlying problem, is that he didn't care about my rights. All he cared about was taking my gun and doing what he had to do to figure out whatever.
Are you privy to the information that was communicated to him that led him to
I never received that. I've never received a 911 call.
You want me to send it to you so you can hear it?
Yes, please.
Would it surprise you to know that there were ladies that were scared of what you were doing?
Sure.
Okay.
I trust me. I do records requests. I've got numerous 911 calls on my channel, and I get people get scared.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't blame the people. My problem is law enforcement and how they came at me. And there was a sergeant there, there was another officer from another count, I think the other side of the bridge. There's all these people, and they're just telling me, oh, it's public order. Oh, it's because you got a gun. I get it. I have a gun, but I'm carrying it lawfully. And it was 6 minutes, and I was arrested. The video's in 6 minutes. I was in cuffs and getting put in the back of the car.
You were asked your name, right?
Yeah.
And did you not want to tell him your name for some reason?
I think I did tell him my name, but they asked me for my ID, and I said I don't have to. And that's where 901.151 of the Florida statute comes into effect. What crime am I committing? And if I've committed a crime, by law, I have to produce it. Just because you have a suspicion that I might be committing a crime, unless you know I've committed a crime, about to commit a crime, or have committed that crime, I don't have to show you. That's Florida law.
Did you have your ID with you?
I did. I had driver's license, fishing license, everything. Anything and everything that could have identified me, I had. And as soon as they arrested me, I was like, yep, here you go. It's all yours.
All right. And you were searched incidental to arrest, right? After you were arrested?
I don't remember when I was under arrest. I remember the handcuffs going on and then them searching.
Okay.
I don't remember them saying you're under arrest or any rights being read or anything. But I definitely remember handcuffs went on and they were digging into my pockets and finding whatever.
Okay. All right, well, I don't have any other questions for you. We can go off the record.